that the door's open for Ramy whenever he's ready to start working on off-season or prep. You're there for him. There was Nick Trigili just put out a video claiming that Ramy is secretly working with Chris Aceto, but Chris won't say anything because he's waiting to see if Ramy does well, then he'll take credit for it. But if he doesn't do well, he'll deny any responsibility. He'll deny that he was working with him, which even on the surface seems like a ludicrous scenario. Just one opinion. Do you find it almost amusing how much time and energy people are putting into who is Ramy working with or who he's going to work with?
Right. Okay. So I did an interview recently, a random interview with actually one of my Canadian amateurs. He's from the Middle East. Obviously speaks that native language, and he asked me would I do an interview, and he asked me, hey, if I asked you a question about Ramy, is it okay? So listen, you can ask me any questions, it's fine. I'm making this very, very public. I don't have an issue with any of the posts that Nick put up. Nothing at all. The only thing that I'm frustrated about is that there were things which were being said, not by Nick, the person who was feeding Nick, that me and Ramy had a falling out or crosswords. Not at any time have Ramy and myself fallen out, had a crossword, disagreed on anything in any way whatsoever. Not at any point. All right. Yeah. If Ramy wants to work with another coach, it's fine with me. I don't have an issue. If he wants to work with Chris now. If Chris and Ramy are working together at the moment, do I have an issue with it? No. But do I find it disrespectful? Of course I do, because Ramy hasn't told me that. Okay? And I think that it's just common courtesy to just be very open with what you're doing when you're supposed to have some form of coach and athlete relationship going on. If Chris is really coaching him behind doors and not going to say anything unless he does well, I think that's a very unprofessional thing to do, to be honest with you, because you're not taking responsibility.
I've never heard of a top coach doing that. Have you?
No, but this is my point. Okay, this is my point, because I think that you're not taking responsibility of what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be taking responsibility for the welfare and the future of your athlete. Now, do I think that Chris is doing that? No, I generally don't. I generally don't think he's doing that whatsoever. I just think there's a lot of gossip which is going around for attention. I don't feel it's necessarily Nick which is actually trying to draw this attention. Somebody's feeding information. There are things which are being said which are completely untrue. So I saw a text message which apparently said that I didn't want to prep Ramy because secretly I didn't want him to beat William, and I purposely kept him off certain things because I wanted to keep him off certain things, so it was too late for him then to qualify, which is not true whatsoever. Ramy has the ability to win the Olympia if he finally gets in condition, okay? But he's got to get into finally condition first of all. William has the ability to beat Ramy. He's done it before. Yeah. He's done it before, all right? He's done it before. They're both capable of winning that title. Just because I prep William Bonac, or just because I prep Big Ramy, or just because I prep Flex Lewis, which are all potentially going to compete against each other one day, doesn't mean that I'm actually going to put more time and more attention into one another. I'm not. I'm going to prep every one of them the same, in the sense of I'm going to prep every one of them to win the title, which means I'm going to prep them to beat each other. Yeah. But there's only going to be one winner, and that's not me to dictate. I wouldn't do that. So whatever Ramy's doing, whether he's working with Chris at the moment, I'm cool with it. Whether he's not working with anyone at the moment, that's cool. I said to Ramy in a message, the last time we spoke was on the 9th of May. Yeah. And I said to him, and this was my words, I said, don't listen to what every other fucker tells you. You do what you want to do. Everybody's probably been telling you what you should be doing over the last 3, 4, 5 years of your career. You do what makes you happy, and you do what you feel is best for you. As long as you're happy and healthy and you do the things in life that you want to do, that's all that matters, Ramy. Whether you work with me, whether you work with somebody else, it's fine. I highly suggested that he did not compete in 2019 because of the small amount of time that I've had with him and how much I've got to know him as a person. I didn't feel that he was mentally ready and he physically was ready. I feel that he was still struggling from what happened in 2018 as far as his placing on stage. I still feel that he was struggling because he was upset about the breakdown in his relationship with Oxygen and Bader. I don't know what happens. I never even asked any questions, you know. I mean, I respect both of them. Whatever happens, happened. It's not my business. I'm not interested in it. He also had a shoulder injury, which I think that he picked up 12, 18 months ago, 14 months ago, 16 months ago. Long time before he started work with me, which was creating a lot of trauma. There's a lot of changes in his life, meaning he moved from Kuwait, where he'd been living there for multiple years, went to Dubai, didn't know if he was going to be in Dubai, was going back to Egypt, and, you know, like kind of lost balance. And you have to have balance as an athlete if you really want to do your best. You can't just be living in a suitcase and jumping from hotel to hotel, country to country, missing workouts, missing meals. You know, there would be times where I wouldn't get my check-ins from Ramy, and he said, oh, I've been in Egypt, coach. And I was like, well, that's fine. Why didn't you tell me? I've lost like 6 or 7 pounds. I've lost 10 pounds. But like, you can't do that when you're trying to progress and move forward. And I felt that there were a lot of things that he needed to prioritize. And I felt that, and I still do, him trying to qualify for the 2019 is not a productive move, because I don't feel that you would see the best version of Ramy. And that's all I can tell you. Okay. That's all I can say. Yeah. I can say to you this: me and Ramy has never fallen out. We've never had a crossword. Do I think that he was happy when I told him that I don't feel he should compete this year? No, he wasn't happy. He was a little upset. Yeah. He was a little tearful. But he understood the reasons why. He wasn't annoyed with me, to my knowledge, and he certainly didn't come across that way whatsoever. But what Ramy's doing at the moment, and I also said to him when I spoke to him last, you know, in May, I'm going to let you contact me when you're ready to move forward, or you feel that you want to work with me. I'm going to let you do whatever you want. So to myself, he's got to do whatever's going to make him happy, and happiness is more important. And hopefully we will see Ramy back on stage in 2020. If Chris can bring him into the Olympia in his all-time best condition, I think that the world of bodybuilding is going to see something spectacular. Would I like to see it? Yeah, I generally would, because I think everybody would like to see the real version of Big Ramy. The truth is, I still to this date have not seen a version of Big Ramy on any stage. People talk about he was the best when he competed with Chris Osito. No, he wasn't. I remember seeing what he looked like in pre-judging when he was working with Chris Osito, and he looked absolutely terrible in pre-judging. Yeah. He looked better in the finals, Ron. Right. So let's wait and see what happens.